Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. I am back with two of my brothers, back with Matt and Dion. This is something you all liked, so we are going to do it again. How you guys doing?
Dion,
we're both being too polite and letting the other one talk.
I guess I got to say your name. Like, How are you doing, Dion?
Howdy, I'm doing marvelous.
Awesome. And Matt?
Oh man, I'm like human origami over here after watching this last week of the Wells Fargo announcement. Like I'm twitching, writing nasty comments on people's YouTube channels. Like just honest to God, but I'm doing awesome. Like aside from, I got so twisted around this and I had so much time because we didn't do anything. We didn't record anything for like a week.
Yep.
That I literally bought another property.
Oh, and I'm so sorry.
And I'm not even sure if I love it. Like I like it. It's a good deal, but I'm not even sure. Like I don't love the deal. I'm like, yeah, it's a nice deal. It's fine.
Oh, whatever. That is hilarious. Well, you know what? Let's just jump into it. We weren't going to do it, but let's just talk about this Wells Fargo announcement because when I was gone, there's a channel out there that's got a decent following. That like 10 people sent me the link, and normally I get 1 or 2 links here and there, but I got 10 of them, like in a 4-hour window. I'm like, all right, I'll watch Olivia. You go shopping or whatever she was doing. I remember listening to it, going, I don't know who this guy is, but he's how should I say this? Wrong.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a nice way of saying that.
So Dion, to only be wrong.
Yeah. Dion, do you know what video we're referring to? Just
I do. And I didn't watch it because you saw how spun up Matt got. So what I did when I saw Wells Fargo made the decision to, cancel their lines of credit, if that's how you word that in that world, because it's not my world. I sat back and I thought, okay, so a bunch of people are going to use clickbait titles and thumbnails to get people to watch their videos. And people are looking for confirmation bias because most investors want a crash or a correction so we can buy things on sale. It's just human nature. I sat back and I thought, I'm going to wait for an educated person with a master's degree in accounting to sit back and give his perspective. So Mike, when your video came back, I sat back and I thought, okay, here's why they did it. And there were some concepts in there that I never would have thought of on my own, probably never would have got out of the other videos that are coming out that are doom and gloom. So thanks for kind of spelling out. And here's the absolute layman's opinion of what I got out of that video that I wouldn't have thought of. When you have a line of credit with a bank and you don't take the money out, that bank has to count as though all of that money was lent out, but they're not earning interest on it. So it's a bad thing for the bank to have that. And it doesn't say that there's a whole bunch of things that are going to fall in a cascade that's going to create the crash or the correction that people are hoping for.
Yeah, you nailed it with the one caveat. The other thing is Wells Fargo has been a bad actor and has one of the largest penalties ever out there for a large bank where their balance sheet can't grow past a certain number. So if you're the head of Wells Fargo and you're going, God damn it, we have to earn more interest, you're going to look at these non-performing 10, 50, $100 million because the lines are open. You have to recognize all of it, but you're getting zero interest. It is a good business decision to close those. So you can lend $100 million on credit cards, on home loans, on auto loans. So Wells Fargo is doing the right thing for their shareholders, for their company, under the penalties of having a balance sheet that is restrictive. To have somebody come out and say, Wells Fargo canceling credit lines, largest housing boom ever, and it's starting within 6 months is stupid and idiotic. It was frustrating to see how many people watched that. Crazy. So Matt, do you want to say a few things?
I broke stuff, like I'm throwing things, I'm watching this absolute moronic take, which you should not have the word economic in your title. If you are giving this level of advice, because you clearly don't understand how the system works.
Yeah.
Flat out. And that's what made me so angry is 75,000 people are watching this crap that is completely wrong. It's completely out of touch. It clearly shows that they don't understand anything of how things work. Because again, at the end of the day, the one of the few jobs that a CEO of Wells Fargo and a CFO of Wells Fargo has right now is A, don't get in trouble again.
Exactly. Stay clean. Yep.
And B, make sure that you are leveraging your balance sheet to the utmost.
Yeah.
And money out there on these types of loans where that's non-collateralized debt.
Yep.
Number one, which is the most dangerous debt. Number two, and most importantly, is it's all about utilization. It makes less than no sense. All these people have $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 sitting there that they're not using, waiting for a rainy day. Hey guys, newsflash, guess what happened in 2008? Everybody got a letter and said, gone. Why? Because that was the riskiest money that they had on their balance sheets. That was it. Or the riskiest opportunity for money on their balance sheets.
Yeah. So let's just take this one step further, since we're talking about Wells Fargo and we're making a connection to last time. So first off, saying canceling credit lines, like, here's the deal. If JP Morgan or other banks followed suit, then I'd be like, oh,
they see something
interesting. What do they see? Right?
Yep.
Something out there. First and foremost, JP Morgan, at least as far as my quick research, actually doesn't offer these personal lines. They offer business lines, not personal. They're right. A signature loan for the three of us is very different than a business loan. So first off, many banks don't play here, i.e. Wells Fargo is a riskier bank business-wise, right? But the thing that I think that channel and others that have followed tried to do but did wrong, it's not the personal lines, because very few banks do those. It's when they cancel the home equity lines.
Yes.
That was a big deal, right? Because yes, there are a lot of people that have personal lines, but trust me, it's not nearly as many as people think there are. Freaking Elizabeth Warren and all these people up in arms. It's like, I don't know, Wells Fargo probably had 2,500, maybe 3,500 people with them. It was a small number, less than 10,000.
It was.
But if you're going to go out and you're going to see a problem in real estate, you don't cancel personal lines. You cancel home equity lines.
Yes.
That is a far bigger deal, because that is tied to an asset. And
it's also them saying that they believe that the value of that asset will be going down.
The collateral
the collateral is going to have lesser value. And that's where that loan to value LTV, that's where that becomes so important, is that when the crash happened, people were literally borrowing 110% of the value of their home. So they say the house is worth 300, and the bank, in their infinite wisdom, not saying who did this, bank that we're talking about, said, you know what, let's do 110%, because the value of the home isn't enough. Let's say it's not worth 300. Now on paper, we'll say we'll give you an extra 30 just because we think that's prudent.
We want you to put in a backyard pool and
exactly like that's what. And then his other take of the mortgage, because I want to talk about this piece too, the mortgage side of it.
Yeah.
Which was, oh, this is how mortgages started happening. Bad things started happening with mortgages. Listen, less than 1% of all of the outstanding mortgages right now are on adjustable rate.
Yeah.
On the residential side, less than 1%. Back in 07, 08, what was the number? It was like 23 or 25%.
Big number.
That's where you got all your defaults, because people were going from a $1,900 rate or $1,900 mortgage payment to then a $3,500 mortgage payment or even $2,500 mortgage payment. They're like, nah, the property's worth $200K less. I'm just going to walk. That's strategic default.
Yep.
So to link and create Mike, I think you said it best. I think it was you that said it. I've watched so many videos on this. my hair's turning gray. My hair's gonna look like Dion's in a week if I keep on this stuff. Like it's bad news for me, because I am literally apoplectic about this, because these people aren't telling the truth. They're looking to create, they're all looking for, what's that first leak in the dam? What's the first leak? What's the first spring to spring from the dam where that's all of a sudden going to flood the village and everyone dies? It's just not that way.
Yeah. And go ahead, Dion.
The problem we're going to run into is those videos are going to get the most views.
Unfortunately, absolutely.
There's sayings like, that's a train wreck. I couldn't look away. Nobody says that train was going by, so I couldn't look away. Right. We want to see the tragedy, because the crash is everyone's being told there's a crash coming by so many sources, because that's what gets watched. So we're going to have to be careful with the thumbnail and the title of this video, because if we say there's no crash coming, or this guy's wrong when he says that this is an indicator of a crash, that's going to make people not want to watch it, because the truth isn't as entertaining as
Agreed.
what people are hoping for.
Yeah, you said it earlier. People are hoping and wanting for a crash. Some of it's because I think people want to see a crash for a couple of reasons. One, they want confirmation that not doing something was the right move. So they want to feel good about not buying or not investing. Two, they want to see other people suffer. That is a unfortunate reality. And three, people want to buy at a discount, right? They feel bad for missing 2010 when they were all scared and they want to go back there. Folks, it's not coming, at least not in my crystal ball and for the next couple of years. It's not just, the setup is not there. The other thing I would tell you about any channel that talks about the last crisis and how this crisis will unfold is not doing you a service. It's never the same. It's not, it may rhyme, it may be different, but a black swan is just that, right? It's something that you don't see coming. And to think it's going to be the same thing as last time is naive at best. The one thing that I said in a follow-on video to that I think is actually interesting to talk about, and it'd be interesting to get your guys' take on this, is again, obviously Wells Fargo, non-event, unique business, in the penalty box, can't play, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if you guys saw this, but China, out of nowhere, cut the reserves that their banks have to hold in half. That is interesting. And then just today on the daily financial news,
that's the story.
Yeah, China's GDP is slowing down more than expected. Their bad debt is much higher. They've actually recognized bad debt for the first time the last year. To think that China's lending structure, construction, retail, manufacturing could be full of bad loans, that could be bad.
Enjoy communism.
That could be, well, just think about it. Yeah, they're in trouble there, sure. But remember, they got a lot of treasuries, man. Tons. They got to sell treasuries. Tons. To raise debt I mean, that could be a black swan. If China starts recognizing the amount of bad debt. I was in China, I think most recently 3 or 4 years ago, and they have entire buildings that are skinned with lights, not full.
Right.
Entire buildings.
Ghost buildings.
Buildings, yeah.
Yeah, ghost buildings, yeah.
So ghost cities.
Yeah.
That too.
So, I mean, if you really want to look for the oddities in the investment world, again, you never know where it's coming from, but the one that kind of smells funny to me and has a lot of U.S. treasuries is China. And Wells Fargo is not going to be the thing that sinks this. Do you guys have any thoughts about that? Maybe we'll go Dion first.
Not so much about China. One of the reasons that I watch guys like you guys that are smarter than me is because I get to learn things that are kind of above my pay grade. But I wish we were recording before this, because you guys keep talking about Wells Fargo and some of the things that they did that helped contribute to the 2008 crisis.
Sure.
Half my mortgages are with Wells Fargo currently.
That's fine.
I've had the best luck with them in the beginning. I got the best rates.
Yeah.
When I compared my lenders, they were able to match or beat fees. Mm-hmm. And the other mortgages that I have were all sold before the first payment.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
I would have expected that from Wells Fargo, but I've had mortgages with them for years, and I still get their written form saying thank you for going paperless.
That's funny.
Dave, it's because within a few weeks they sold it to Fannie Freddie.
Exactly. They're the servicer.
That's right. They're now just the servicer on that loan. And yeah, Mike, the China thing, that's 100% correct. That's exactly it. That has been a ghost economy for so long because of them devaluing the yuan and all the work that they've done with now creating a digital yuan and goods and services and the world hooked on cheap, goods and services. And now guess what? All those supply chain issues are hitting them. And that means that they're not selling nearly as much product. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of an issue for them when the world demand slows down tremendously for your cheap products.
Yeah.
And that's, and I think the other thing that we need to watch as well is, America giving up some of its energy independence with shutting down some of those pipelines. Mm-hmm. And now we're barking at the Middle East to say, hey guys, we really need to make sure that you're actually making enough oil for us. China, Russia, get on it. We need more oil instead of just producing it ourselves. So I think what creates the black swan is all of these things combined create a pretty significant event.
Yeah, I think again, I don't think the next crisis is not going to be in the mortgage market, right? The mortgage market is really a series of dominoes that built on each other, right? Wall Street started to securitize mortgages, CDOs.
Yes. Yep.
That created a whole business units where
That's right.
they just wanted more, and they kept lowering standards. And pretty soon, I was signing mortgages that literally the mortgage app was blank. I remember the last mortgage I got, it was blank. I'm like, you don't need to fill this out. No, just sign here. Okay.
So you were the robo signer.
I was, man. I got a loan. Yeah. Countrywide, baby. Countrywide loans. Just sign here. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
I was
pretty crazy. So I think
I was literally
China.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think I agree. I think it'll be China. I was literally on the phone with Countrywide when the ship was going down. So like, yeah, 10 and a half. We can give you a mortgage for 10 and a half.
Yeah.
Like, 10 and a half. Like, what are you, hard money? What am I, the last loan that Countrywide's ever going to do?
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Well, hopefully we beat this one up. I've tried to attack it. It is funny. Again, I think Dion said it well, right? People want to see the train wreck. Yeah, you guys are so right.
Your time is far better invested hearing the things that you might not know or that you might not want to hear but need to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. You watch all these crash channels. I mean, I swear 75,000 viewers and 100,000 subs and 300,000 subs. And you watch this stuff and it's just like beyond. I mean, here's the only good news is that if you're watching channels like this, you're in really good shape to own that person's house because they're not doing the right stuff to keep themselves in the right position to make sure to protect their assets.
Yeah, I've actually thought about that, right? You guys, we weren't doing this together, the three of us back in December, but there was about a month where I kind of went negatives, like negative sales. Let's just do negative. I did that for like 2 or 3 weeks. Views went through the roof, but I just felt crappy, to use another word. I'm like, I'm never doing that again. So where was I going with that? Yeah. So I just won't go there. The thing that I love about One Rental at a Time, this channel and your guys' channels, is I feel like most of our viewers are doing the work. Like when you do a Wells Fargo video and you get 100,000 views in 48 hours, those people are not doing the work. They just want to be entertained for 15 minutes. And I don't need the penny. I don't need the penny per watch. It's okay. I will keep being a real estate guy.
Any real investors out there that are watching the crash channels are getting as spun up as Matt was.
Yes, exactly.
The people who want the motivation to make the next deal, to make the next offer, are watching channels where we're giving the advice on how to do it, not the clickbait fancy thumbnail that says, here's why you want to watch this horrible information. So Matt, maybe you should think about that next time. And
I did. I punished myself by doing more homework and buying only a good deal.
No, there you go. Oh, that's hilarious. I shouldn't have clapped. Anybody listening to just heard that clap, I'm sorry. That was really loud. It was really loud in my ears. I can only imagine yours. Well, folks, this has been a fun episode. We had to let Matt vent or else we couldn't get the other topics. The next one's going to be how to stay motivated, which I'm going to thoroughly enjoy. Do me a favor, Matt. How can people get a part of your channel and part of your world?
lumberjacklandlord.com and lumberjack landlord on YouTube. And we only go negative once a month in our what we call the Jackhole of the Month award.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. We give a Jackhole of the Month to make sure that we're calling out some entity that was just completely stupid. I've got so many people in the running this month. I don't know who to choose from. I might have to do like a montage. There's that much stupid out there on YouTube right now. What the heck?
How about you, Dion? How can people follow you?
I'm really active in the Bigger Pockets community, Dion McNeely, or here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Mike. Thanks.